Yes guys, what's going on? Hashtag Shorty here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Here today, ladies and gentlemen, we have got ourselves the return of a video I did at the start of last year. We're going to be looking at the top 10 best Weekend League super subs for you guys to use in your local squads. Now, obviously with the first Weekend League coming up this weekend, I thought what better video to sort of showcase to you guys the best subs you want to get into your team for the beginning of the first Weekend League. Now, one thing to mention right at the beginning of this video is we're going to be making sure each player has a 20,000 coin price cap. You guys are obviously going to want to be spending the main budget of your coins on your actual starting team, right? You don't want to be spending 100k, 200k on a super sub, obviously, unless you're absolutely balling out. But for you guys who don't put money into the game, which I do not blame you at all, this should be quite a good video for you guys to see sort of the best cheap subs that you guys can get into your squads that will make a big difference late on in games in FUT Champions. Now, we'll go through each player in this video because they've all kind of got single specific things about them that make them good coming on late as a sub. We've got mainly attackers in this video and then the odd defender as well that is going to come on in a different position. We'll get it all explained into the video. But if you guys do enjoy it, drop a like and also subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's jump into the top 10 super subs and see what's what. Starting us off here, guys, we have Bailey. Now, one thing I'll quickly mention, didn't need to say that 3 times, that this is not ranked number 1 to number 10. I've just sort of picked out the 10 best super subs I can advise to you guys because basically they've got different qualities about each one and that type of thing. But yeah, all under 20,000 coins, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Bailey being the first player, newly transferred to the Premier League, obviously a really solid card to go into starter Premier League teams. Now, I imagine Bailey might be the type of guy who's in a lot of teams anyway in the starting squad, if that makes sense. However, Bailey's a great player to start with. Now, one thing that's important to remember, guys, when a player comes on in FIFA, they come on it with the same chemistry all the time anyway, no matter what position you bring a player on. So if you bring Bailey on up front, he's on the same chemistry as if you bring him on at right mid or left mid or all that type of thing, if you know what I'm saying. Well, I'm pretty sure it's still that way unless they've changed something, which means obviously you can bring on different positions in different places. A lot of these types of players are very good to bring on up front and that type of thing, and on the wings that we're going to show. But yeah, really great stats. 93 pace is absolutely blistering, along with 84 dribbling. And to be honest, guys, one thing that's worth mentioning as well, stamina really does not matter too much on these players. Even if they have low stamina, they're only coming on for the last 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or even extra time if that's when you guys decide to bring on your super subs, if that makes sense. But Bailey, a great little start here. Next up, we have got ourselves Vinicius Jr. Now, Bailey obviously had the 4-star, but with this man, we have got ourselves a cheeky bit of 5-star skills, man. 2 years younger than me, which isn't relevant, but is depressing starting to see players who are so much younger. Forget it. 5-star skills, obviously, absolutely quality, along with 4-star weak foot. A really important tip to mention, guys, is just that when we're bringing on subs in Weekend League, the main thing you want to do is stretch your opponent. All you want to do is be able to run down the wings and just create more and more space. I know this sounds like, God, it's not rocket science, and of course it's not, but it's just an important thing to reiterate. Late into a game, you just need pace, especially when the person you're playing, his defenders are going to be low on stamina and that type of thing. And if you need to close out games, these sorts of players stretching your opponents far out wide are just going to cause them absolute problems. And with wingers, you can obviously absolutely sprint down the line, score some sweaty goals, some cutbacks, that type of thing, and it just becomes very easy. And I would just really advise to you guys, make sure you use subs in FUT Champs. Even if you've got an unbelievable team, make sure you bring players on because you cannot beat fresh stamina on a player. Anyway, I've blabbed on for too long. Amazing stats with Vinicius. Mainly, we're looking at 95 pace, 87 dribbling. Of course, the shooting and passing is not the greatest, but like I said, they're the main 2 stats on a player that we're looking to bring sort of up front. And we do have some players in this video who have slightly better shooting. One of them people being the man Chiesa. Again, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Really one of the best upgrades we've had to a player this year in terms of a cheap card. He's so cheap. 85 stamina is unbelievable. Like I said, the stamina doesn't matter too much. 91 pace, 81 shooting, and 85 dribbling. This is a man who can come on in the 60th minute and, you know, play the whole rest of the game and it'll be absolutely unreal for you. That shooting is also very good for a guy that's going for under 10,000 coins. Chiesa, again, is a guy that I think could be in a lot of people's starter teams as well, so you might not even bring him on as a sub, but I would seriously say he's a great backup option of a super sub, especially if you guys have got a team that's worth sort of 500k to a million coins. You'll obviously have slightly better players in the starting team, but this is a man who can certainly come on. The 4-star, 5'9", great agility. Yes, please, fella. Next up, Muriel. Now, this again is another player who has slightly better shooting. Now, Muriel and Chiesa, I would probably say them two were players that you would probably bring on up front. Chiesa could obviously go on the wing as well, and so could Muriel, respectively. But Muriel's obviously more of a striker. But this card, guys, is just unbelievable. You're genuinely paying like 2,000 coins for a card with 89 pace, 86 dribbling, and 83 shooting. Really, just quality card. And being in the Serie A as well, he's got got great links. Now, the links, obviously, again, do not matter on a super sub because he can be from any league. That's the great thing about subs. It doesn't matter what league they're from. They're going to come on the same chemistry as any other player that's coming on the pitch. So that's obviously great. Amazing dribbling, amazing shooting, amazing pace. Yeah, apparently I only know the word amazing. Seriously good for your guys' teams though. And next up, we've got ourselves St. Maximin. Now we're going back to sort of the winger type super sub who are literally just looking to stretch opponents. But St. Maximin was just one of the most fun cards to use in the game and has been for years. When he gets them upgrades that he will later in the year, you know, foot birthday stuff and footies cards and all that type of thing, he just becomes one of the most fun players in the game. The 93 agility and the 91 pace. Obviously, I know I'm repeating myself with a lot of stuff here, but that is just the most important things on a super sub. And the same thing goes for Leroy Sané. Now, I couldn't believe it when I saw this guy was 5,000 coins. And then you realize, oh, okay, well, that's just not where I want to go. And then you realize 2-star weak foot. That is what's letting Leroy Sané down from being, you know, much more expensive in the game. Still a really, really good card in at 6 foot as well. Leroy Sané, along with the next man, are great players to put out wide. And especially if you need to boot the ball up, you know, if a player is on constant pressure. And you know what? We've looked at Sané enough now. The 4-star skills is good as well. Good shooting, good dribbling. What I am touching on mainly here is Adama Traore. If you need to boot the ball up to a player late on in the game because someone's on constant press on you and you're struggling to get out, Adama's a great man for this. Now, I know we look at Adama Traore, the shooting and the passing, just forget about it, pal, because we don't need that. We just need the pace and the dribbling and the amazing, amazing physical as well, which you don't get on every single winger in the game. Makes him an absolutely class card. Really good agility as well. And this man really is the definition, and he kind of does the same in real life, of just absolutely leg it down the wing and score some sort of cutback and that type of thing. And he's a very, very good player to close out the game, especially with that 87 strength. Now that will finish off the attacking players we've got in this video. And now I want to show you guys 3 players that I would advise bringing on at sort of CDM to CM, that type of thing. And we'll touch on Jordi Alba first off here. He's going for around 7,000, 8,000 coins. Now this is the type of player, we've got 3 fullbacks here I'm about to show you guys. And I'm not saying bring any of these on at fullback. Just bring them on at CDM. When you're looking at these types of players, you may as well bring on the best CDM you can. And if that means that that card is a left back, because they're going to come on in the same chemistry as a CDM would anyway, you may as well just bring on whatever card looks best for that position. You know, if Jordi Alba was a CDM, he'd go for way more than 7,000 coins. God, there was so much passion in that. But seriously, he would go for much, much more as a CDM card. So when he does come on in that position, he will be absolutely unreal for you guys. You know, 90 agility, really good interceptions as well, along with great stamina. Doesn't matter too much on a super sub, along with great pace. Now, Jordi Alba's amazing for starter teams himself. But yeah, I just think it's worth remembering for you guys that you should sort of bring on these right backs and left backs who have crazy good cards for a CDM, but obviously they're just not a CDM at heart. I think I've made that make a fair bit of sense. Next up, Quadrato, another player very, very similar for that. And Quadrato is just an all-round unbelievable super sub because he can just come on basically anywhere. You could even bring Quadrato on up front. Probably wouldn't advise that, but CM, he'd be an unbelievable card. Along with the wings as well, with that 5-star skill moves. Look at that unbelievable agility. And just a really, really well-rounded card. And finally, to finish off the video, we've got ourselves a man who's had a really good upgrade. And this card is just unbelievable. In a 4-4-2, get him in right at centre midfield. Just look at this card. 6'1", 4-star, 4-star, along with 92 pace, 80 dribbling, and 78 defending, which is very, very high on someone who's so cheap. Now, obviously, the shooting we're lacking in a bit. But later on in games, guys, especially when people are probably playing a bit more frantic and that type of thing, and they're trying to do driven passes into their striker, using a quick player like Spinazzola in the squad just means they're going to win so many interceptions. And the same thing goes for all 3 of these left backs / right backs that we're going to bring on as CDMs or CMs. I just think that's a very good meta thing to do, and it will certainly be annoying to play against, I'll tell you guys that for sure. So I would advise doing it yourself because it will probably get done against you. But yeah, to sum this all up, I'd advise bringing on fullbacks at CDM / CM and getting them more involved in the game, especially with how cheap they are and how good the stats are. And then obviously with these types of wingers, especially someone like Adama with the strength you're looking to close out games, Vinicius, Bailey, and St. Maximin are the type of players to stretch people out wide. Muriel, Chiesa, and even like Sané can come on up front. All the attackers can come on anywhere, but I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying in terms of trying to stretch an opponent as much as possible, because that is certainly going to get you more wins in Weekend League 100%. Well, that'll be the end of the top 10 Weekend League super subs. I hope you guys found that helpful and a few little tips there with the best ways to bring on subs, because it seriously will get you guys some extra wins for sure. Even if you can't be bothered to bring on a sub sometimes, Trust me, it will make a world of difference in Weekend League, and it's going to be a sweaty one this year. I know that for sure. But yeah, best of luck to all you guys in the first Weekend League we've got coming up this weekend. And let me know if you end up putting any of these super subs into the local squads. And once again, I said this in the last video, but I do apologize for the fact we've not had any gameplay yet. But once Foot Champs comes out, we'll make sure to get the gameplay absolutely rolling in some RTG stuff and some main account God Squad stuff, all that type of thing. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I appreciate you all for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Oh, normally I do a thumbs up there. On the next one.